So you've been having a really good start to the season. What has it been like coming in and being able to produce not just in goals, but also being able to produce, assisting and just cutting up defenses this season for you?
Yeah, no, it's been good. I felt good when I came in, and I feel like as a team we're building a lot of good stuff. We're getting some good results. Unfortunately, in New Mexico, I feel like we could have got more out of that game, but it's been fun working with Charlie. I mean, he keeps putting the ball in great spots for me, and instincts take over if you get to the right spots. So it's been good. Hopefully I can keep going.
So being here at training, I've been able to see even through preseason that routine almost of Charlie to Evan header in for a goal. And so is that something that has been an area of focus and now pays dividends? Is that a high five moment for you guys, as you're saying?
Of course. And I know Charlie as a player, and maybe he's not taking the guy on in the wing, but he gets that, he touch it out on the sideline and whips it in, and his service is so good. So.
And speaking about go ahead. About the New Mexico game, right? The surface of it, can you speak about just the dynamics of having to play on an infield at times as an attacker if you're trying to get some goals done inside the box? How does that affect the game style?
Yeah, it's tough, and we knew it was going to be tough in the first half, especially with the way we try to play out of the back. So we tried to switch a little bit. We had some good chances that we could have put away, but surfaces like that's why you got to take advantage of the set pieces and do those things right and try to get the result from that, because you know that it's going to be difficult to play the game that we want to play.
Putting some goals in the league and an Open Cup. You guys travel up north into the Pacific Northwest. What is the feeling that you have coming into this Open Cup opportunity?
I love Open Cup, especially coming from League One, and just the whole battle of the leagues. I'm super here for it. So I'm excited to go up to Seattle. I've never been to the Pacific Northwest, and we'll see. I feel like they're going to be a great side, so looking forward to it.
And then this jump from League One over now into the USL Championship, do you feel like you've adapted to the play style? How is it different? Is it just a couple of adjustments for you? How has that transition been?
Yeah, the transition last year definitely was a lot easier because of the team that we have, the organization that we have, the staff that we have, and just like the support that I was able to get throughout the club. So we put little pieces together last year, and this year coming in a little more confident and feeling like I belong some more, and things kind of go your way.
And lastly, are you enjoying that 9?
Of course.
This season, you've been having some action in the Open Cup. You've been having action in the league. You've had a couple of different partners up top as well, with Adrian, with Evan. How's it been like now adapting with a couple of weeks in with your teammates?
Yeah, I think it's really good. The group is really building chemistry every day. And obviously, a lot of the group's been here a while together. So I think they've done a really good job of welcoming me in on the field and off the field, and I'm still learning and building that chemistry. But I think we're off to a pretty good start, and things are only going to get better from here.
So obviously, some fans are barely getting to know your play style, and they're surprised with that. I'll say daintiness, the finesse that you have because of the futsal. Can you talk about how that has influenced your game now as a professional?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing futsal. I played when I was in my teens for the New Zealand futsal national team. And I am 6'5", but I don't really play like I'm 6'5". So I think that catches people off guard a little bit. I love to dribble and I love to combine and create. So it's just a big part of my game.
Absolutely. Is futsal huge in New Zealand, or how is that?
Soccer is is huge in New Zealand, and futsal is huge as well. So we played it all the time growing up. I played it in every school I went to, in high school and everything like that. So yeah, it's a big part of youth football in New Zealand.
So here in San Diego, we have a couple of Kiwi representatives, even in the club with Kyle. The supporters have their own Kiwi. What has it been like, having that support locally of, your nationality here in San Diego?
Yeah, it's great. We got some, Kiwi candy and stuff from some of the supporters, and just really happy to have that support, to be here with Kyle. It's always great playing with Kiwis, and I actually played with them back in New Zealand, so it's great to reunite.
Perfect. And then now we're getting some San Diego weather. We had some rain.
Finally.
What is your What are your thoughts of San Diego? What have you been up to around town?
I'm loving San Diego. I'm glad it's starting to get sunny. It was a bit rainy and cold for a bit, but I've hit up the zoo and been exploring downtown, and it's wonderful. Couldn't be happier.
Best thing you've eaten here in San Diego?
Oh, best thing I've eaten. I've been to a couple really nice Italian restaurants, Japanese restaurant, but I think the best thing is I think it's called Queenstown Public House. So that's like a lot of it's a New Zealand-based kind of cuisine and that kind of stuff. So had a meat pie and it was delicious.
Perfect. One last question. If you were to bring back and have your all-time favorite boots, your all-time favorite cleats, or however you want to say it, what would be those all-timers that you would want to have forever?
I think if you would remember David Beckham's old Silver Predators, those would be my all-time favorite.
Those are comfortable too.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Coach Nate, we're coming back after a road game that was incredibly tight and difficult at times. Could you speak about the dynamics of having to play not necessarily only on a baseball field, but on a home opener once again in a USL Championship, and how that affected perhaps the on-field play?
Yeah, we've had a few of these actually over the years, not just this year, but being the home opener of an opponent. When they also didn't start great, so they're under a lot of pressure. And the big thing, as you mentioned, is that field. That's just one of the many challenges of playing in the USL or places like that. It's very hard to go and play there, especially with our style of play. We're trying to build out on a baseball diamond where field's coming up. Honestly, I don't think we should be playing games places like that, but that's not something we can control. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's safe for the players, to be honest, too. And we were more pragmatic in the game. Like, we played with 3 center strikers. We played a lot more direct because over the years you learn lessons. Nothing replaces experience. And playing away in New Mexico, I know exactly what that's like and our team isn't a pragmatic team, but we played more pragmatic, more direct. And I think in the first half, aside from the first 15 minutes, we created so many chances, and you have to take more of those. But overall, when you look back at a whole season, a point there isn't bad. Although there were things I didn't like about how we played the game. In the bigger context, it's okay.
And obviously you've had a couple of different looks up front, messing with the different combinations of players. Do you think that you've found something that's a little bit more consistent, or are you still going on a game-by-game basis and enjoying being able to throw, say, Conway with Collier with Perez, and so on and so forth?
Yeah, it's a great question. We're not. I'm not in a rush to find the perfect, formula, because we have so many games and we have depth for a reason. And I wouldn't call it messing around. It's more like understanding who the opponent is, understanding our guys' bodies, where they're at. Your best team is your healthiest team. So it doesn't make sense for us, especially on a high pressing team, to trot out the same 11 guys out there and hope you don't get injured. That's silliness. You will get a lot of injuries. So we rotate appropriately while still step-by-step building chemistry. And different games require different profiles. And Ronaldo, Evan, Elliot, they're very different players from each other. So like against New Mexico, it helped to have 3 strikers on the field. And against Tampa, it'll be different. And so I know from experience, I know by the end of the year, we'll probably have more consistency. But right now, I actually don't really want that. What we need to do is accumulate a lot of points and have great performances and have 16, 17 players that are performing at a high level, because that's what it takes to be great in a regular season.
Something that has also been apparent is Charlie has been playing really well along with Conway, connecting in that goal in New Mexico. Could you speak about maybe how those plays are drawn up that way? We've seen it in preseason, after practice, Conway getting those headers on. What is it like as a coach seeing those drawn up plays come to fruition like that?
Yeah, all 3 of Evan's goals have come from Charlie's assists, and I think right now Charlie's like in the prime of his career. Like, he is playing like at a high standard. Over the years, we've pushed him into different positions, like in the left half space higher, and because his final ball has so much quality, and Evan instinctually makes great runs. And so, how we train every day, it should and it does lead to moments like that on the field, or else what are we doing in training? It has to be very detailed, specific, and the set play, while that just looks like a ball in the box, the timing of how we work on that and how we're dismarking on the runs, and that is actually a lot of hard work for something very simple like that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to like Charlie's consistency and quality, and Evan's ability to keep making the same runs and the good runs even when he's not getting the ball. That's what makes a good striker, is that you keep making the run. Even if you're disappointed, it takes, for every 10 runs he makes behind, he gets 2. You need to keep that ratio of continuing to make the runs behind. So those two guys have great chemistry, and we're in one phase of the season right now. Later in the season, it might be Charlie to Elliot a lot, or Charlie to Ronaldo, and so it's pretty fluid. But again, it's a reason why you keep players around and you keep building chemistry over years, not just one season.
Is there any way that the training changes, obviously with the Open Cup, traveling up to the Pacific Northwest and facing Seattle, for training to be different? Is there a different approach to also be able to, like you said, save those legs and get that rotation in?
Yeah, well, next week we basically won't train. It's just recover well, and we have a very detailed system for that. Travel, recover well, travel, recover well. So the training per se is happening in the film room and meeting rooms, but all of our training accumulated for the last 13 weeks is to prepare us for moments like this, where there should be context. So if we're working on playing against this type of shape or this type of opponent, we've already experienced that before as a team. And so it's really sharpening up on film and doing those things. So that week, Friday, will basically be the last day we really train. We might have 3 or 4 guys out training if they didn't play a lot of minutes, but travel load is a lot more than maybe normal people would realize, like how difficult that is.